All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have been waiting for. It is time to go racing at Richmond. Ray Hillhouse and David Gorman on the front row. Kyle Mundell and Jeff Hinkle have the second row. Points leader Kyle Holden and AJ Godsey on the third row. Eric Stoy, Mark Nelson on the fourth row. Albie Hewins and Kevin Reed round out your top 10. Richie West starting in 11th with Heasley starting in 12th. Chris Stroop starts in 13th, Mike Smith in 14th, Mark Dantuma in 15th, Gerald Thanos Poole in 16th, and Donald Durant starts in 17th. Good evening, Jason Coleman. Hey, good evening, JR. How are you? Cars are rolling. The first elimination race of the playoffs about to begin here at Richmond. Twelve drivers in the playoffs. 4 will be eliminated here tonight. And as we mentioned, the cars, especially on cold tires, loose out of the turns. That first 2 or 3 laps, corner exit is going to be interesting. Oh, ouch, JR. Sorry to hear that. I can imagine. Pace car gets ready to drop the pit road. Ray Hillhouse up front. Pace car is in. Here we go. Green flag in the air. The first elimination race of the playoffs underway. Everybody careful through 1 and 2 on cold tires. No problems yet. Some tight row. I spoke too soon. Caution is out, and it looks like Mike Smith involved. Oh, Mike gets loose. Stroop barely avoids that. It does not get much closer than what Chris Stroop got. Let's see if we can ride in his in-car camera. Off turn. Wow! Stroop extremely lucky tonight. Topher, I did speak a little too soon. Lights already out on the pace car. They get ready to go back green. A little more heat in the tires this time. They may have a lot more grip off the turns. Pace car is in. Hillhouse fires their away. Green flag back in the air. Richmond known for one of those short. Oh, Gorman is around hard into the outside wall. What in the world happened there? It looked like something broke. Gorman off. Oh, he got loose. Went into the turn way too deep. Man, Mark Dantuma barely misses that. Wow, Garmin usually one of those guys up battling for wins on the short tracks. Not a great start to the night. David Garmin and Mike Smith both on pit road for repairs. Garmin is rolling again, not sure. It looks like Garmin did lose a lap. Mike Smith is still sitting on pit road as well. He may lose a lap here. He is already been... Mike's still on the lead lap. He's going to get out just in the nick of time. AJ Godsey has already moved up 4 spots into second. Kyle Mundell up to third, doing what he needs to do to stay in the playoffs here tonight. Kyle Holden in fourth. Eric Stoy in fifth. Kevin Reed also doing what he needs to do. He's up 4 spots into sixth. Mark Dantuma, who did not qualify, was fairly safe in the playoffs coming into the night. 6th in points, started from the tail of the field, already up to 10th. Richie West still in 11th. Chris Stroop now up to 12th. Jeff Hinkle already back 10 spots into 14th. Already some early surprises here tonight, especially with Jeff Hinkle being so far back. Ray Hillhouse, AJ Godsey side by side, getting ready for the restart. Ray in control. Pace car is in. They fire green flag back in the air. A rough start to this one. Looked like Eric Stoy had a little bobble there. Meanwhile, Mark Nelson and Kevin Reed battling. Jared Heasley right behind. Ray Hillhouse has the fastest lap of the night so far, but AJ Lurkin right behind. Kyle Mundell now in third. Eric Stoy up to fourth. They are slowly shuffling Kyle Holden back as much as possible. A great strategy by the field to keep moving forward. More importantly, to keep Holden moving backwards with the points lead. Mundell looks on the bottom underneath AJ. Can't get there. AJ shoots it into 3. A lot of the field now single file settling in. Mark Dantuma now up to 9th. And Jared Heasley up 4 spots into 8th. Holden starting to look back under Eric Stoy as they go off into turn 1. Kevin Reed looks at the open door, gets underneath Eric Stoy. But that bottom line does not have the room to power off completely off the turn. Stoy still stuck up high, can't get back in line. He'll slide in now. Ray Hillhouse still has the lead, and while Mundell and Godsey battle, Mundell the second. Hillhouse has been able to open up a half second. Richie West has made his way up into 10th, closing the gap on Heasley in 9th. The playoff drivers that are on the bubble tonight really putting it on. Richie West up to 10th, Kevin Reed up to 6th, Kyle Mundell up to 2nd. And Ray Hillhouse with the lead, but Mundell reeling him in. Hillhouse came in tonight 6th in points. Not really a huge concern for elimination unless he has problems. Eric Stoy back in 5th, currently the highest running driver not in the playoffs. The rest of the top 12, actually, of the top 13, Eric Stoy is the only non-playoff driver in the top 13. The rest of them are the 12 playoff contenders. But with a catch, Jeff Hinkle, who was 2nd in points, coming in tonight is all the way back in 12th at the moment. Mundell is going backwards quickly. AJ now back to 2nd. See what happened to Mundell here. Oh, gets loose out of 2. A lot of drivers having to check up, and he loses all the momentum. Ray Hillhouse loves the battling going on behind him. AJ now to 2nd, Holden now to 3rd. But they are over a 2nd behind Ray at the moment. Eric Stoy now to 4th. Kyle Mundell slid back to 5th. Now has to fight his way back toward the front. Likely hurt that set of tires. Coming into the race, the drivers were talking about 105 to as much as 115 laps on a tank of fuel. The 2 early cautions definitely helping extend that. The issue tonight will not be with fuel, it will be the tires. Competition caution tonight on lap 44. Everybody will be able to go the distance on fuel. From there, the question is who will conserve tires the best in that long run. The man known for tire conservation currently sits in 12th. Can he use the tires he has left before that competition caution to pick some spots back up? Oh, Heasley gets the wall out of 4. Richie West looks underneath to take 9th. Interesting note, Jared could tell you exactly how far ahead or behind Richie West he needs to be to stay in the playoffs tonight. Ray Hillhouse's lead starting to shrink. AJ on the attack. Now 3/4 of a second behind. Kyle Holden right there with them. Mundell trying to fight his way back past Eric Stoy. Kevin Reed in 6th. Look who is underneath Reed now. Mark Dantuma. Mark battling for 6th place since getting back in the Chevy last week. Dantuma has been on fire. Mark Nelson lurking right behind in 8th. Richie West now in 9th. Heasley in 10th. Jeff Hinkle has got his way back up to 11th. Chris Stroop, another playoff driver, back in 13th. Stroop came in tonight 4th in points. He needs to get moving forward. It looks like Gourmets is out of the race tonight. Kyle Mundell back on the attack, looking underneath Eric Stoy for 4th. Mundell has a hard fight to keep himself in the playoffs tonight. He's been hitting everything just right so far until he got loose out of turn 2. He is still trying to fight his way back, but the man on the move is 6th place Mark Dantuma. Mark Dantuma came in tonight 6th in points. Fairly secure in his spot, but Mark wanted to get up there and get it done. Mundell finally getting the nose in on Eric Stoy. And with the door open, can Mark Dantuma behind capitalize? Meanwhile, AJ Godsey looking underneath Ray Hillhouse for the lead. Kyle Holden right behind the battle. AJ Godsey finally clears into the lead. Hillhouse looks low for a moment. Can't get there. Now Holden right on his bumper. Hillhouse went to the high side in turns 3 and 4, trying to carry a little bit more momentum. AJ is definitely known for being one of the best short track racers. But he has got some extremely fast drivers back behind as Richie West battles with Kevin Reed. That is the battle for 8th. And Richie is going to clear into 8th. Hey, good evening, Kevin. How are you? Jared Heasley has slipped back into 10th. Richie West making his way up into 8th. Richie doing exactly what he needs to do to stay in the playoffs here tonight. Mike Smith currently going a lap down. Eric Stoy is suddenly going backwards a whole lot. See if we can see what happened here with Eric off of turn 2. Oh! He just checked up in a big way off turn 2. Mundell nowhere to go. Donald Durant has had a problem back behind. of turn 2, the car just loose. We've talked about it all night. Durant's almost has it saved about 3 times. Doing pretty good, Kevin. Ray Hillhouse still on AJ's bumper. Kyle Holden a little bit back behind. Mundell now up to 4th. And Dan Tuma now up to 5th, up 10 spots. Should be seeing the competition caution after this next lap. When AJ gets back to the start-finish line, should see a comp caution. Out of turn 4, AJ crosses the start-finish line. Ray Hillhouse still holds on to 2nd, Holden in 3rd. Kyle Mundell in 4th, Mark Dan Tuma up to 5th. Looks like they delayed the competition caution for a lap. And there it is, competition caution. They'll have less than 90 laps to go. When the green flag drops again, they can go the distance on fuel. Tires are definitely going to be a whole nother story. Big movers so far. Obviously, Mark Dan Tuma up 10 spots into 5th. AJ Godsey picks up 5 spots to the lead. Here they come to pit road, and Richie West now up to 7th. Biggest surprise of the night, though, Jeff Hinkle struggling here. Jeff Hinkle, Chris Stroop, both playoff contenders, sitting in 11th and 12th. Everybody back on pit road. This is the first full field stop we have seen tonight. AJ gets it back off pit road first. Let's see if we can get a word. Hey AJ, it's Doug. You got me?
I got you, Doug.
Hey, you struggling here tonight, buddy?
Yeah, she's a little slick. Just trying to keep the tires on the back of it, but the first run went pretty good for us.
Now, we talked to the other drivers earlier. We know you can go the distance on fuel, but the tires are the big question mark. So, do we expect you to stop for tires tonight, or are you going the distance from here?
Unless we get a late caution, I'm going the distance. I've been doing a little bit of practice here this week, and I've been able to save my tires pretty well. So. Tires look pretty good after that first run too, so yeah, we're going to try to push it if we can.
All right, man. Well, good luck. A great run so far, AJ.
Thanks, Doug.
AJ Godsey hit pit road with the lead, comes out with the lead. Ray Hillhouse in 2nd, Kyle Holden in 3rd, Kyle Mundell in 4th, Mark Dan Tuma in 5th, Mark Nelson in 6th, Kevin Reed in 7th, Albie Hewins up to 8th now. Jared Heasley back in 9th, Chris Stroop in 10th, Jeff Hinkle in 11th. But Richie West, after that stop, fell to 14th. Eric Stoy is back on pit road. That moves Richie up to 13th, but man, dropped 7 spots on pit road. A guy who needed those 7 spots. to stay in the playoffs tonight, he's going to have a hard time. Of note tonight, we do not have Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel in race control tonight. So the other admins, like Jared Easley, are having to do this from the car. Pace car is back in. AJ controls the restart. He is fired. Green flag back in the air. Everybody off into turn one, side by side throughout the field, except AJ, who has cleared traffic. Kyle Holden now to second, also clearing traffic. Ray Hillhouse now back into third. Mundell up to fourth, and Dan Tuma still holds fifth. But Dan Tuma looking underneath Mundell. Oh, Jared Heasley had a problem back behind. He got loose off two. Heasley is dropping spots. No caution. He did not get into the wall. But he drifts back into 13th. Back up front, Mark Dantuma has almost cleared Mundell, but he has to get the nose in on Ray Hillhouse. Oh, Dantuma's loose off four. Mark Nelson has a run up top. Great save by Dantuma, slides back into fifth, but now has to go back at Mundell. Meanwhile, Kyle Holden, the points leader, trying to get under multi-time champ AJ Godsey. Holden underneath through 1 and 2. This is the battle for the lead. Is allowing Hillhouse, Mundell, and Dantuma to close back up. Sounds like AJ may have kissed the wall coming off four. The points leader around off turn four. He's out of the racing line. There will be no caution. Holden has gotten back out on track, but now AJ clear of traffic. Let's take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, this may be a moment that defines the playoffs. Out of four. Gets loose down through the infield, and the big jump there, no telling if he has damage to the undercarriage. Kyle Holden came into tonight with the points lead. We expect him to be able to fight his way back from 15th, but he has got a long way to go. Holden, I do not believe, could be able to be eliminated due to that incident. However, it could upset the entire top 12, and after tonight, top 8. That puts AJ back in the lead. Mundell in second, Hillhouse in third, Dantuma in fourth. Mark Nelson in 5th. Kevin Reed now back up into 6th. Albie Hewins in 7th. Stroop in 8th. Eric Stoy in 9th. Jeff Hinkle back into the top 10. And after that terrible pit stop, sending him back to 14th, Richie West now back up to 11th and on the move. Tanya better be celebrating right now. Mike Smith about to lose another lap to the leader. He jumps up to the high side. Excuse me, that was a battle for position. Kyle Holden goes to 14th. Let's take a look. Kyle Holden just came by Thanos for 13th. And he got loose again off turn 4. Mike Smith, Gerald Poole, letting a playoff contender by easily is one thing, but he is 4.8 seconds behind several drivers still in the playoffs. They are not going to let him get by easy, with Holden finishing even just outside the top 10. It would hugely change the playoffs. We'll keep a close eye on Holden, but A.J. Godsey now under attack by Kyle Mundell. Ray Hillhouse lurks in 3rd, Mark Dantuma in 4th, Mark Nelson in 5th. Holden still sitting about 4.5 seconds behind Jared Heasley. Richie West currently in 11th, trying to run down Jeff Hinkle in 10th. Hinkle being back in 10th also upsets the apple cart quite a bit for the playoff numbers, as Hinkle came into the night 2nd in points. I don't even want to attempt to do the math on this one. Let's just say with Hinkle in 10th and Holden in 13th, some of these drivers just around 10th are going to be really, really happy. Mundell still sitting on AJ's bumper. Ray Hillhouse, Mark Dantuma, Mark Nelson round out your top 5, all within about 1.5 seconds. Kevin Reed in 6th, Albie Hewins in 7th, Stroop now in 8th, Eric Stoy in 9th, Hinkle in 10th. Looking at the lap times right now, AJ Godsey is not pushing that car. In fact, the 4 cars directly behind him all were faster the last few laps. AJ appears to be in conservation mode at the moment. We know he said during the caution, he did say he would go, if no cautions came out, he would go the distance. Hitting under green here would definitely be a death sentence tonight. Would put you about 2 laps down, possibly 3. Kevin Reed having a great run, up 4 spots into 6. Biggest mover of the night though, 4th place, Mark Dantuma all over Ray Hillhouse's back bumper. Mark Nelson up 3 spots into 5th. That top 5 still all within 1.5 seconds of each other at the moment. Kyle Holden still trying to reel in Heasley. He's now 2.7 seconds back from Jared. But he has got clean air, whereas Jared Heasley is stuck in traffic, and Richie West may have just kissed the wall a little bit. Meanwhile, Jeff Hinkle in 10th now looks under Albie Hewins for 9th. Hinkle, the king of tire saving, could come charging through this field anytime, but if he's going to do it, he has got to make a move soon. You know Heasley is watching his mirror and his relative very closely. The spotter counting down how far behind Kyle Holden is. Mike Smith and Gerald Poole battling for 14th. Holden now 1.9 seconds behind Heasley. It'll be one thing to catch him, a whole nother thing to get past Jared Heasley, Richie West, Jeff Hinkle. Those 3 drivers all in the playoffs as Hinkle has a run underneath for 9th. But Albie on the high side putting up one heck of a fight tonight. Albie knows he is out of the playoffs as of the drop of the green flag, but he is still going to fight for everything he's got. Richie West, Jared Heasley nowhere to go while his battle is going on ahead with Holden reeling him in. Meanwhile, AJ Gotze, Kyle Mundell starting to pull a little bit of a gap on Ray Hillhouse, Mark Dantuma, and Mark Nelson. Next time by, it'll be 50 laps to go here at Richmond. Mike Smith is on pit road. Jared Heasley battling with Richie West. This is going to allow Holden to catch up. Oh, it gets tight off turn 4. Side by side down the back straightaway. Richie has the nose ahead. Gets clear of Jared for the moment. Tries to get a run on the high side. Tries to get that big run on the high side. Almost got to the outside on Albie. Albie now up to 10th. Jeff Hinkle in 9th. Chris Stroop has had a nice comeback tonight. Started in 13th, quietly moving his way up to 8th. Eric Stoy currently in 2nd, and Kyle Holden about to catch Richie West. Albie Hewins, meanwhile, Jared looking on the high side, trying to make that move. And I promise you, Richie is not giving up that spot easily. Holden is definitely going to have to work for... Oh, holy cow! Richie gets too deep. Holden gets a run, but Richie shuts the door. Albie and Easley almost get together, coming off 4. Jeff Hinkle able to pull a little bit of gap now on Albie. Stroop, meanwhile, closing in on Kevin Reed. Jared may have kissed the wall there. Richie currently sits in 12th in a spot that would have him eliminated. Holden now trying to make a move up on the high side. It's too wide, just ahead. Oh, Kyle Holden's thinking about Mao. He gets into Albie. Checks up. Richie gets back by. Now Richie clears Richie to 11. Back up front, AJ Gonsi in the lead. Kyle Mundell in 2nd. Hillhouse in 3rd. Mark Nelson now to 4th. Dan Tuma back into 5th. Eric Stoy has gotten by Kevin Reed to take 6th. Reed in 7th. Stroop in 8th. Closing in. Hinkle in 9th and Heasley in 10th. Holden now has a run and will clear Albie Hewins. But that one spin by Kyle Holden off turn 4 could have just shaped the entire playoffs. He is going to lose a ton of ground tonight. Came into the night with a 6-point lead over Hinkle. Hinkle currently running in 9th. Mark Nelson 3rd in points, currently running in 4th. He would pick up a lot of ground. Chris Stroop would also pick up some ground. AJ Gonsi, meanwhile, putting down some breathing room between him and Mundell. Hillhouse still holding on in 3rd. Mark Nelson closing in 4th. Dan Tuma in 5th. Eric Stoy in 6th. Kevin Reed 7th. Chris Stroop in 8th. Richie West now gets by Jared Heasley and takes 10th. Heasley back to 11th. Has to fight off Kyle Holden now. The battle between those two cars, Richie West and Jared Heasley, is the battle for who stays in the playoffs. As they run right now, though, Richie West has got to pick up and put some more spots between him and Jared as Holden looks underneath Heasley into 1. Holden clears out of turn 2, moves into 11. Richie West trying to close the gap now on Jeff Hinkle and Chris Stroop. And AJ Gonsi pulling away now 9/10 of a second on Mundell. Hillhouse and Mark Nelson nose to tail. Mark Dantuma still riding in fifth, still has a big gap on Eric Stoy. But Stoy, after clearing Kevin Reed, has pulled away, and Stroop is right to Reed's back bumper. Kyle Holden still back in 11th. He tried to attack Ritchie earlier. Ritchie has almost got Hinkle. Hinkle, who came in tonight second in points, currently runs in 9th. This would be the biggest playoff shakeup in BRR history. If the race finished now, I have no idea who would be out. AJ, meanwhile, continues to extend his lead. I'm feeling kind of bad for whoever, I believe Jared's the one that has to do the points on this. AJ Godsey now has a 1 1/4 second lead with just over 30 laps to go on Kyle Mundell. Ray Hillhouse still holds third place. And would stand to make up a lot of ground here tonight. Mark Dantuma came in tonight 6th in points, currently runs 5th. It is very likely Dantuma would close the gap on the cars ahead in the points going into next week's race, which I believe is Michigan. Next week will be Michigan, followed by Rockingham. AJ Godsey and Chris Stroop came in tonight tied for 4th. AJ would easily pull up into 4th place, closing the gap on Mark Nelson in 3rd. With Jeff Hinkle back in 9th and Kyle Holden back in 11th, I have no idea about the rest of it, but I do know Richie West is doing exactly what he needs to do. He is in 10th and has run down Hinkle. This 3-car battle could decide a lot here tonight. The points leader in 11th, Richie West on the bubble in 10th. Jeff Hinkle, 2nd in points, currently runs 9th. Meanwhile, 2 drivers we fully expected to see eliminated tonight. Kyle Mundell currently running in 2nd, Kevin Reed in 8th. With this situation, may be able to keep themselves in the playoffs another round. And with 25 laps to go, AJ is starting to lap cars and has a 2.1 second lead. Eric Stoy has gotten past Mark Dantuma, moved into the top 5. Dantuma now back into 6th. Kevin Reed doing everything he can to keep Jeff Hinkle, Richie West, and Kyle Holden in the mirror. Holden attacks Richie into one and takes the spot. Kyle Holden back in the top 10. Holden trying to make a move on Hinkle up top. AJ still a ton of breathing room. Looks like Gerald Poole may have gotten the wall a moment ago. Back in 14th, he has recovered. Albie Hewins on the back straightaway, dropped to the bottom to let the leaders by. Albie to pit road. Looks like Gerald went into pit road lap 91. He has the freshest tires on track, and he is going to take advantage of it. "19 laps to go for AJ Godsey. AJ has more BRR wins than anyone else, but AJ did start BRR 3 years ago. He has more titles than anybody else. He is a force to be reckoned with, especially when you come to a short track like Richmond. Jared Heasley currently in 12th, about to lose a lap to AJ. Meanwhile, back 3 1/4 seconds back, here comes Gerald Poole. On those fresher tires, has moved up to 13. Oh, gets a little bit of a bobble there. Can Gerald capitalize on those tires enough to catch up to Heasley in 12th? Ray Hillhouse sits in 3rd, but Mark Nelson all over the bumper. Oh, Mark's got the nose in on Hillhouse through 1 and 2. It's a drag race down into turn 3. This race looking to come down to whoever conserved their tires the best, as Mark Nelson now moves to 3rd. And Kyle Holden has come through a lot of traffic back up into 7th place. AJ continuing to extend his lead over Kyle Mundell. Mundell now has some breathing room over Mark Nelson, but Mark is starting to reel him in, just 9/10 of a second ahead. Ray Hillhouse now back into 4th, Eric Stoy in 5th. Mark Dantuma has drifted back to 6th, but still is the biggest charge of the night. Kyle Holden has recovered to 7th, Chris Stroop in 8th, Hinkle in 9th, Richie West in 10th. Kevin Reed has now fallen to 11th. And Jared Heasley in 12th. And as they run right now, this will be the first time Kevin Reed has been eliminated at the end, at the first elimination. Kevin has always made it into round 2 prior to this season. And I do believe, doing the math right, as of right now, Mundell will be able to advance in the playoffs. We'll have to wait for the official numbers after the race tonight, but as of right now, it looks like Mundell would stay in the playoffs. Kyle Holden, meanwhile, back up into 6th, coming by Mark Dantuma. AJ Godsey lets Gerald Poole get one of his laps back easily there. Gerald is closing the gap quickly on Heasley. Ray Hillhouse sits in 4th, Eric Stoy in 5th, Holden, Dantuma, Stroop, Richie West, and Jeff Hinkle rounding out your top 10. With Jeff Hinkle finishing back in 10th, I have no idea what is going to happen. From 2nd place in the points on back, it is so close. Four laps to go for AJ Godsey. Kyle Mundell has managed to close up back to about 1 1/4 seconds on AJ. AJ has had to deal with lap traffic, and he had Gerald Poole come by. Mark Nelson still in 3rd, Ray Hillhouse still in 4th. Eric Stoy in 5th, Kyle Holden back in 6th. That has been a great recovery from Holden tonight. And 2 laps to go for AJ Godsey. He will definitely stay in the playoffs here tonight, will not be eliminated. Mundell just has to keep Mark Nelson behind him, and I do believe he will stay in the playoffs. White flag is in the air. AJ Godsey one more time around. AJ just tends to dominate on the short tracks, and he does it once again here tonight. Out of turn 4, AJ Godsey wins at Richmond. Kyle Mundell will come home in 2nd, and Mark Nelson comes home in 3rd. Let's talk to our top 3, starting with Mark. Mark, that was one heck of a run tonight, buddy.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it.
You guys had quite a fight up there, and I noticed you were right on Mundell. You never really took a shot at him.
Yeah, I was only catching him in places where I would have spun him, so I was unfortunately just not able to make the move. We were just equal enough in pace. I just couldn't do it.
Well, still a great run. It is going to be a huge points night for you with Holden and Hinkle both having problems. It's going to make the next few races interesting.
Yeah, if I can just get a little bit of margin on 5th, 6th, and 7th, then that's a good thing, because this next round is going to be for all the marbles, really.
It really is. Great job tonight. Angie said great job. Congratulations, buddy.
Tell Angie thanks, and I got to give a shout out to Jared Heasley for my paint schemes. So running some new stuff these weeks and pretty excited about it. So thanks everything for you do, Doug.
My pleasure, buddy. Mark Nelson comes home in third. Kyle Mundell pulls off second. Kyle, this is not official by any stretch, but if my math is correct, you did exactly what you had to do tonight.
I hope you're right. I was just, I saw Ray put up a good challenge against me with maybe 15 to go, and I managed to hold it off. And then Mark came flying up, and I was able to hold him off too. And I was just thinking, like, as many points as I can, and let everything else fall as it does.
Well, it definitely paid off, man. It was one heck of a run either way, but a great job tonight, buddy. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I need to apologize to Eric again. I'm typing a message to him right now. I just before the competition yellow, I was looking underneath him, and he lost the rear a little bit, and as he started to chop down, I didn't get out of it in time, and we just clipped my right front to his left rear. And he must have saved it brilliantly. I need to go back and watch it, but I'm glad he still got a top 5 out of it. I was very happy to see that.
That was a great recovery. Great job tonight, man.
All right, appreciate it, Doug. Thanks.
And finally, our winner, AJ Godsey. AJ, another win in the playoffs when it counts.
Yeah, it was a good race. I was just hoping for no caution there at the end. I knew I had a better long run car. Mundell hung with me for a little bit there and had me nervous, but he eventually started falling off too. So yeah, good run. Way to start the playoffs.
Man, another awesome run. It wouldn't be a playoffs without you battling for a title, and a great win on a short track. Pretty much what we've come to expect from you over the years.
Yeah, short tracks are always my best suit, but a lot of good drivers in here right now, and Kyle and Ray runs good. I mean, Mark, Jeff, you got 5-10 guys that are going to be tough to beat, so nice to get one here.
I have to ask, when you saw Kyle go off of turn 4, how big of a sigh of relief was that?
Yeah, definitely. Kyle's great, He's the one you want to race against, though. If I want to win, I want to race against the best, and going door to door with Kyle, it's always fun.
Oh, man, it was an awesome run tonight, buddy. Congratulations, a great win.
Thanks a lot, Doug. Thanks for all you do, buddy.
My pleasure. AJ Godsey gets the win, and man, what a wild one it was. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern. Jones BS Racing is back, and of course we'll have some action during the day tomorrow as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Y'all have a great night, everybody.